Hello, my name is Adrian, and I'm new to YouTube, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get this video out today, but I may not. I'm going to do my best. Let me see, where should I begin? Um, I am a prophet, and I actually asked for the job about 5 years ago. Um, I didn't know it, but I guess I was born a prophet. That's what God has shown me. And that's why I've been fighting Satan for the last 29 years. My life has been um, very chaotic, crazy, lonely, scary. Um, I've had a lot of horrible things happen to me, um, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. Eventually, I will get to that point. If anyone wants to ask me any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. If anyone wants to know my background, but basically who I am is I am basically equal to Christ's sister, put it that way. Uh, I am a prophet that comes to you with the truth. I am the prophet that brings the good news. And the good news is there is a set of directions that we get to follow to climb the stairway to heaven together as a team. And I have been given those instructions. And so that's the good news. The chaos, the confusion, the war, the pollution should come to an end with this information God has shown me to give to the world. This is how I'm starting it with this YouTube channel. And all the information that I get, I want to give to the people through this channel until I can get, until I can talk to the president, until I can talk to other foreign leaders, other religious leaders, and bring this truth to them. Today I went to my church and told my church that I realize who I am now, and I realize that I'm basically like the second coming of Christ, but I'm the daughter. Jesus actually has allowed me to take over this job. And I am a prophet like Moses, like Isaiah, like Noah. I'm just a very important prophet because I am here to do what Jesus was going to do. I'm here to take his place and do this for him so he doesn't have to come back until the gates of heaven open up. Let's see, okay, my YouTube channel, and I'm going to have two channels. The first channel is going to be called The Good News, because that's what I'm bringing, the good news to the world. What the good news is the directions, and God has shown me that heaven is just right around the corner. We just have to do a few things first to get this place cleaned up as far as the pollution with hate, environmental pollution, um, the hate that's in the world, the wars, and I've been given direction to deal with these problems, and the people can either take it or leave it. I hope most people will hear this information and get excited as well and want to take it seriously. Let's see. I had lost everything, financially and emotionally and mentally and physically. I had lost everything. I lost my apartment. This was about 8 years ago. I lost my apartment. I lost my children. I lost my car. I lost my all my belongings. I lost my health. My health was failing me. I lost my mind started to fail me. I started to feel like I was going crazy. I was homeless walking the streets at Cass in downtown Phoenix, not able to get a job because of my health, and not able to be a mom because I was too sick. And at that time, Satan was trying to get me down. He was trying to have me killed. He's been trying to have me killed for the last 29 years. I've died and come back to life several times. And I never knew what the reason was until recently. It was because Satan didn't want me to come with the truth, because that was going to help with the chaos and confusion and help us all to get into the gates of heaven sooner than later. Um, um, Unfortunately, Satan's a huge part of my story. He has been attacking me for the last 29 years. Ever since I was or actually before I was 16 even. I used to, I was smart in school. I was popular. People liked me. But I was very quiet. I was so quiet to the point where I used to eat my lunches in the bathrooms at school. And I used to walk to my classes at different times, this way I would never run into anyone, by chance, because I wouldn't be able, I never knew what to say. I felt like nothing I was said was important. I never knew what to say. I felt like when I did say stuff, I'd analyze all of the words I would say, and I'd wish that I never would have talked to begin with. So I remained quiet, very quiet. And I found out later on that's what people liked about me, was how quiet I was. But I felt like it was embarrassing, and I didn't like the way that I was. So I started drinking at a very young age. I was a very bad alcoholic. I was a danger to myself. I was a danger to everyone around me. And Satan tried to use alcohol to kill me, but it didn't work. I ended up going to AA, 12 steps. I did my 12 steps. I was able to quit drinking with those 12 steps, as well as the promises came true in my life. When you do your 12 steps, the promises will come true in your life. They promise you that the promises will come true. The promises, financial insecurity will leave you. You'll suddenly know how to handle situations which used to baffle you. You'll be rocketed into a fifth dimension, one of which you never knew existed. These are all part of the promises from the 12 steps, but that's part of what God wants me to bring to the world, is this new way of getting to know a power greater than yourself, getting to know a God of your own understanding, so you're able to have a personal relationship with a God of your own understanding. And that's what the 12 steps teaches people. It's going to be rewritten. It's going to be rewritten to where children can do it, and it's going to be allowed and taught in schools, because it's not religious. It's not a religious program. It's a spiritual program. So instead of saying God, we say our Creator, or whoever God is to us. We're allowed to have our own name for God, if you will. I've always called my God God or Dad, so the 12 steps, it's going to be rewritten. It's very important that the world listens to what it has to offer, because what it teaches you is it teaches you how to make amends, teaches you how to forgive yourself, teaches you how to forgive others. It teaches you how to treat people. It teaches you defects of character, and how to deal with those defects of character. It teaches us how to have a spiritual connection with a higher being that we can trust eventually, because we put our trust in Him. And through these 12 steps, He shows Himself to us, and He shows us miracles. And He doesn't want it just to be for alcoholics or drug addicts or gambling addicts or sex addicts. He wants it to be for everyone. And so it will be rewritten, and it will be available for everyone. And that's what our Creator would like people to do, to get to know Him better, and to get to have a better relationship with Him, and to get to know ourselves better, and to know why we do what we do, and to be able to forgive ourselves as we forgive others. And I'm also here to bring the new church. The new church is going to be, I was told I was going to start a church. It was going to cost no money up front, and that I was going to start this church. And I didn't know what God was talking about at first. And then I found out what it was. What it is it's going to be like little churches or temples, whatever you want to call them. Each courtroom is going to be its own church or its own temple. And we are going to be able to see God working through the judges. What God's going to do is we are going to go with prayer teams into these courtrooms. And through prayer, we're going to invite God into these courtrooms through prayer. He wants to be invited in. And at that point, he is going to use the judges in their position of power, and each judge is going to see each case through the eyes of God. And when this happens, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be the beginning of world peace. It's going to be something that's televised, so we're all going to be able to watch it. But a lot of us will want to watch it in person. So a lot of these courtrooms will be filled, because this is where the miracles are going to happen, and this is where God's going to show Himself to the world. And He wants justice. He doesn't like the justice system right now. Because it's such an unfair system, and it's so backwards the way it's done. And we're not going to need law books, we're not going to need attorneys, we're not going to need juries, we're not going to need police testimony, we're not going to need witnesses, we're not going to need anything, because for each case, it's just going to be the judge and the person that's being prosecuted, or the person that's being, the person that's standing in front of the judge, the defendant. It's just going to be the defendant and the judge, and they're going to both basically invite God into the courtroom, and then so this way the judges won't make mistakes and innocent people won't end up in jail. And that's all God wants. He just wants to be invited into the courtroom, which I think He's not asking for much on that, and it could do a whole lot of good. So that's what needs to happen. I haven't done that yet, and He did show me this years ago, to start this years ago, but I haven't gotten to it. And I want to get to it. I just need some help from people around me, some help from people that believe in what I'm saying, and people that want to see this happen. The next thing He has shown me is how to end homelessness. It's a more personal approach to ending homelessness, and it involves the community getting involved in reaching out and having a contact list where the women will have other women that they can call, and some women that have the time or the money to sponsor a homeless woman will be listed on this contact list. These contact lists it's going to be called Sponsor Arizona ! And it's going to be called Help for Humanity. And I'm going to churches. I'm trying to go to churches in the area. That's how I'm starting it. And I'm trying to talk to the pastors, asking them if they can bring this to the congregation and let the congregation know that we're looking for people that are willing to sponsor someone in need. And there's going to be a lot of people that are wanting to do this, because it feels good to be able to sponsor someone and help someone in need, and it's rewarding. And that brings me to another thing that God has shown me. As far as tithing, God doesn't want us to put all our money into a church bucket. He wants us to feel good when we're tithing. So when we're tithing, He wants us to actually not give so much money to the church, but give half the money that you would give to the church to someone in need. So you can feel that feeling of that connection and that feel-good feeling that you get when you can give something to someone in need. God wants us to feel good when we're tithing. He wants it to be a good feeling, a happy feeling, and He wants us to help the people in need before we help the church. What else? There's so much that I want to go over. I can't do it all in one sitting. That's why I'm making the YouTube channel, so I can come on here and explain to you what I'm being shown. I'm shown different things at different times, and I write them. And what I do is I write the information down. I sit down and I write all the information down, all that God is showing me, and I've got pages and pages of information. So if I can answer any questions, I can talk to you more about my history, my story, my testimony. Let's see, what else can I say real quick? So we got the church that we have to start. It's called the New Church, and it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. It's going to be, like I said, the beginning of world peace, along with these 12 steps that I'm bringing for the people to hear about and know about. A lot of alcoholics that have recovered know about the program. A lot of drug addicts know about the program because they use the program to get over their alcoholism or their drug addiction. And it's just a wonderful program that everyone should be able to be a part of, even children, because it's that simple. Those steps are that simple to where even a child can do them if they're rewritten to where everyone can do them, which is going to be very easy. We can even do that together on here as a team. What else? Let's see. So we got the church, we got the 12 steps, we got the ending homelessness, we got let's see. I just oh, neighborly networking is what it's going to be called. Keeping up with our contacts. Instead of keeping up with the Kardashians, it's going to be called keeping up with our contacts. And what it's going to be is God has shown me that it's important that we do this, because there's going to be some things that are going to be happening to where it's going to be important that we know our neighbors and that we all, come together and start helping one another. It's going to be basically, we're going to meet once a year. It's going to be the day after Easter. This is what God wanted. For some reason, He wants it to be the day after Easter, once a year, where we go and we update our contact list. And I've got the flyers made. I'm going to put the flyers on the doors in my neighborhood. And if anyone else wants to do this in their neighborhood, that would be great. That's what we need. We need people that want to do this in their own neighborhood. This way that we can have this going on, throughout the United States, not just here in my neighborhood in Phoenix. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a time when all the neighbors get together and get to know each other better. We make our contact list where we can have everyone's phone numbers and everyone's names on this contact list, as well as the businesses that they're in, or the trades that they're in, or something they may need help with. So there's going to be one column that is going to list their name and the businesses that they're in, so we can basically free advertising for the businesses in the neighborhood, as well as people with different trades, so we can actually trade services instead of having to pay for everything. It's going to be a way for the women to become, close-knit, and we can help one another through getting together and organizing a plan to where we can homeschool our children and give free childcare for anyone that wants it or needs it. It's something that just needs to be organized, and we can do it within our community. And and if you're using businesses in your community, it helps to lessen the pollution, and that's part of what God wants me to share as well, and I'll get to that in just a second. But not only that, but it helps you to not have to travel too far for services. Once you know everyone in your neighborhood and what they can help with, then you don't have to travel across town to get help. You can get help within your community. And maybe they can set something up like a neighborly networking discount for just neighbors. People are going to want to do nice things for their neighbors. They're going to want to be a part in helping the people that need help with different things. There's going to be a column with people that need help. Anything from lawn care to automotive, to help with computers, to help with a caregiver, a roommate, help with carpooling, help with tutoring, help with child care, anything, all of those things. Help with legal advice, say there's maybe a veterinarian in the neighborhood, pet sitting, just anything you could imagine. You can write that down on the list, and that's the contact list that we're going to be creating for the neighborhood. So I made the flyers for my neighborhood and trying to explain to people what it's about and what I'm trying to do. And the most important part of this whole thing is remembering the missing people in the world, especially in America. And because there's so many people that are missing, that we will have a chance to have a day, and this day will be the day after Easter, where we remember the missing. And if we get together and do the neighborly networking, God has shown me that we're going to be able to find missing people through this program. And we're going to be able to rescue missing people through this program, as well as it's a way to keep our children safe, and it's a way to find missing pets, find missing children, getting together, as a neighborhood and helping one another to get ahead is what it is. So it's what it's all about. And So God, this is another program that God wants us to start on and talk about, and we can do that on this YouTube channel. We can talk about this stuff and ask questions and get to know. And I'm going to ask questions too, because I'm new at this as well, and I'm trying just to be a good prophet. I'm trying to do what my mission is, and I was real hesitant to start this YouTube channel because I was scared of cameras for a long time. I was trying to keep me quiet and trying to take away, from the truth getting spread. Today I went to my church that's right across the street, Dream City Church. I told them that basically they can consider me the second coming of Christ. I told them I'm a prophet, just like Jesus was, and I come with the directions to the stairway to heaven. And once we start these directions, we can climb the stairway together. The whole world can climb the stairway together as a team. And once God and the angels notice our efforts, that's when God will meet us halfway with the environment. He will, whatever we can't clean up for ourselves, He will clean up for us. And as long as He sees that we're making an attempt to clear up the hate and the war and the confusion as far as all that, He's going to acknowledge that, and so are the angels, and it's going to help them trust us. They need to trust us for us to have heaven on earth, and that's what it's going to be. It's going to be heaven on earth, because this earth was created for that reason. It's not like we're going to, get to go to some other place called heaven. It's going to be here on earth, but we have to show the angels and God that we know how to clean up after ourselves. That's important to them. And everyone can do something for the environment. I don't drive a vehicle anymore. I started to hang my laundry instead of putting it in the dryer. I'm recycling. I put stuff in the recycle bin now. I'm cautious of it. I'm more aware of it now. And so I try my best to do what I can do personally to help the environment. And so that's one big thing, is the environment. The other big thing is clearing up the hate in the world. The hate, the war, the prejudice, the fighting, the everything, all the stuff that's going on, all the chaos, all the confusion, all the madness. There's answers, finally, for what's going on. And I've got a lot of those answers. Now, my other YouTube channel is going to be called Paging All Prophets, and that one's very important too, because there's prophets amongst us that are afraid to come forward. I don't know about any of you, but I've never met a prophet personally. I've never met one. And so when I asked for the job, I figured I'd get it because I didn't know of any prophets, and I figured, not many people were asking for the job, so I figured if I asked, I would get it, and I actually did get it. And that's because I asked for it, and I really wanted it, and I gave myself to God. I had lost everything that the world would consider, rich. In the world's eyes, I was considered poor, and I had lost everything, and I was considered a failure. But I knew in God's eyes, I could be something very special. So I asked to be famous in His eyes. I told him I wanted to go down in history books as being famous for Him in His eyes. And that's when I, started claiming that I was a prophet, and that's when God started filling me with all this information. So the other YouTube channel calling all pages, it's going to be called Paging All Prophets, and it's for anyone that believes that they've got information from our Creator that can help the world to be a better place. Anyone that believes that they can heal people with their hands, or anyone that knows they can. Anyone that knows what their spiritual gift is and they want to share that with the world. Anyone that may have the answers for some world peace. Anyone that feels like they are here to work for God, or they want to work for God, and they want to come on this show and get prayer for that, or whatever it may be. But there's prophets amongst us. And I'm not the only one. I'm just a very important one, because I'm the one that's getting this stuff started, and I'm the one that asked for the job. And you'll understand when I tell you my story about maybe why God was picked me for the job for doing the last half for Jesus so he doesn't have to come back. Heaven's right around the corner. We just have to get together and follow these directions. And if I get some people that will, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I don't know much about it. I really don't. I don't know anything about this YouTube channel stuff, so I'm going to work on it. But I'm going to just start with the YouTube channel and see how it goes, and then hopefully get that other one started, Paging All Prophets, so we can get, or maybe this one can even, we can even do that with this YouTube channel, start Paging All Prophets through this same YouTube channel. So I'm looking for anyone that wants to be a part of this, anyone that wants to help, anyone that's curious and knowing about any of this stuff. It's exciting. It's a very exciting time. It happened on August 4th, 2024. That's when Satan lost and God won. And what that means is he lost the ability to control me, and he had me by my neck, literally. He did not want me to come out with any of this, and he lost, meaning I don't have to fight him anymore, meaning the battle is over between good and evil, and Satan being able to attack me and make me feel like I'm not good enough, make me feel like I'm a piece of shit, make me feel like I don't ever know what to say. He puts me down, he lies to me all the time, he tries to deceive me. I've been dealing with him my whole life. And God showed me why I had to deal with him more than most people, and it's because he knew that I was coming with the truth. He didn't know when it was going to happen, but he did know that I was coming with the truth. So I hope that I will get some subscribers to this channel. I hope that we can work together on all this stuff. And thank you for your time. I will talk to you soon, hopefully. Bye-bye.